She didn't come back because she missed you. She came back because life tried to replace you and failed. It's quiet right now. Too quiet. The kind of quiet where your phone is face down, but you still glance at it. Like it might light up on its own. Like she might finally say something that explains everything. If this is you, you already know what I'm talking about. You don't miss the chaos. You don't even miss the arguments. You miss the way it felt when things were real, before they got confusing, before you started wondering if you were asking for too much or not enough. Maybe this hits closer than you expected, because lately it's not her you've been thinking about. It's the moments, the way she used to lean into you without thinking, how she'd calm down faster with you than with anyone else. The small stuff, the boring stuff, grocery aisles, late replies that didn't mean anything back then. And yeah, you've told yourself you're fine. You've told everyone you've moved on. You don't bring her up anymore. But at night, you replay things you didn't say. Moments you handled wrong. Times you stayed quiet when you should have stood your ground or walked away sooner. You wonder if she ever noticed what you carried, what you absorbed, what you gave without keeping score. Here's the part you don't say out loud. You're not hoping she comes back. You're wondering why she might. Because something feels different now, like life is pressing on her in ways you never did, like the world is showing her contrasts you never had to explain, and that scares you, not because you want her back, but because if she does come back, it means something finally clicked. So let me ask you something, and don't answer it too fast. What if she isn't returning because she lost you, but because life finally showed her what she lost in you? Most men get this wrong, not because they're weak, but because they're too close to the pain to see clearly. They think if she comes back, it's because she finally missed them, or because the guy after them failed, or because time softened her. That's not it. What actually happens is quieter. It's a random Tuesday. She's sitting across from someone new. He's talking but not really listening. She explains herself twice, then stops, and in that pause, something feels off. Not dramatic, just empty. She remembers how you noticed when her tone changed, how you'd pick up on the sigh before she spoke, how you stayed calm when she spiraled, even when you didn't know what to say. You weren't perfect. You forgot things. You got tired. Sometimes you shut down instead of explaining yourself. But you were steady. Most men don't understand this part. Women don't realize what was rare while it's consistent. They realize it when it's gone and replaced with something louder, flashier, but thinner. Here's the first principle most men resist. Consistency doesn't feel exciting until it's missing. Life doesn't remind her with memories. It reminds her with contrast. Different voice, different touch. Same problems, worse handling. Second principle, and this one stings. You didn't lose value when you left. Your value became visible when you were no longer there to carry everything quietly. She's not coming back because you waited. She's coming back because life leaned on her, and you're no longer there to absorb the weight. That's when rarity shows itself. Not in words, in absence. And if she does return, the real question isn't why now. It's whether you still recognize the man who learned to stand without being needed. The room is dim, one lamp on, buzzing a little. You don't bother fixing it, your phone is on the table, screen down. You know the weight of it without touching it. Outside, a car passes, tires on wet road. That sound always makes things quieter somehow. You're not thinking about her on purpose. It just happens. A memory slips in sideways. Her standing in the doorway, hoodie too big, asking if you're mad. You weren't. You were tired. But you didn't know how to explain the difference back then. You remember the way she used to talk when she was overwhelmed. Fast. Tangled. How you'd let her finish before saying anything. Sometimes you'd say the wrong thing. Sometimes nothing at all. But you stayed. There's a pause now. In your chest. The kind that shows up when the house settles and you're alone with it. Somewhere else. You imagine it without meaning to. She's sitting across from someone new. The room louder. Music playing. Glasses clinking. He's smiling at the right times. Nodding. But she's explaining herself again. Slower this time. She stops mid-sentence. That's the moment, not fireworks, not regret crashing in. Just a quiet thought she doesn't want to have. You never made her repeat herself. You noticed the shift before the words. You felt the weight before it dropped. Back in your room, the air feels cooler. You pull your sleeves down even though it's not cold. You wonder when life started teaching lessons you used to absorb for her. When the silence you carried became noticeable because it wasn't there anymore. Your phone hasn't moved. But something else has. And without knowing why, not fully, you feel it. The rare things aren't obvious while they're happening. They're obvious when life tries to replace them. And can't. A lot of men don't realize they're sabotaging themselves with the stories they tell in their own head. One belief sounds harmless. If she comes back, it means I finally mattered. Say, but that keeps you small, waiting, measuring your worth by her movement. The truth is quieter. You mattered even when she couldn't see it. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. Not because you weren't enough, but because you forgot to stay present in your own life after she left. Another belief sneaks in late at night. I should have done more, said more, fought harder, dodged, maybe. Or maybe you already gave what you had calmly, consistently, and she didn't know how to receive steady love back then. You don't lose her. You lose your own presence. That's what actually hurts. Not her absence, yours. And this one trips up almost every man. If I stay available, she'll remember what I was. No, availability isn't rare. Anyone can text back. Anyone can wait. Attention is cheap. Respect is priceless. Life teaches that lesson for you when you stop cushioning the fall. She doesn't come back because you chased. She comes back when you stopped bending. And life showed her what holding yourself actually looked like. This is what the 1% headman understands, and most men miss it because they're too busy reacting. He knows that when someone leaves, the instinct is to move, text, explain, fix, probe. He feels that urge too. He's human, but he doesn't obey it. This is how he leads with presence, not pressure. When the silence shows up, he doesn't fill it with noise. He keeps his routine, still wakes up early, still trains, still shows up calm in rooms where his chest wants to tighten. Not because he's cold, because he's centered. He understands this. If you have to convince someone of your value, you've already stepped out of it. When memories hit, a laugh, a smell, a song, he doesn't spiral. He lets it pass, feels it, then returns to himself. This is the difference. Most men chase clarity from her. The headman builds clarity inside himself. He knows life teaches lessons better than arguments ever could. So he steps back, not to punish, not to manipulate, but to let contrast do the talking. Patience over panic, stillness over strategy, self-respect over hope. And if she comes back, he's not waiting in the same place she left him. He's standing somewhere stronger. That's what makes rarity visible, not effort, but unshakable presence. It doesn't happen in a big moment. No speech, no final text. It's small. You're standing at the sink, water running too long, your hands just there, not really washing anything. A message draft open on your phone. Again, you read it, then read it slower. Something in your chest tightens, not pain, recognition. Flash, her saying, I don't know what I want. Another flash, you saying, it's okay, when it wasn't. Another, you shrinking a need so it wouldn't start a fight. The room feels colder suddenly. Or maybe you just noticed. You think, if I explain it better, and then snap. No, that's the old loop. You delete the message, not angrily, calm, almost bored. A quieter thought slips in, barely loud enough to hear. I don't abandon myself anymore. It lands soft, then heavy. Dropped weight. You realize how often you bent your spine into questions. How steady you were for her, and how invisible that steadiness felt to you. Your phone goes face down. This time you don't check it again. There's a strange relief in your shoulders, like setting down something you didn't know you were carrying. Life doesn't change instantly. She doesn't come back right now. But something else does. Your presence, your ground, your name inside your own chest. And somewhere far away, without drama or timing, life starts showing her what you used to quietly hold by not holding it anymore. You didn't lose her. You lost the version of yourself that kept carrying everything quietly. And when you stopped, when you stood still instead of reaching, life stepped in and showed her the weight you used to absorb without applause, not with memories, with contrast, with colder rooms, slower replies, conversations that didn't land. If she comes back, it won't be because you waited. It'll be because absence taught what presence couldn't. By then, something will already be different. Your shoulders lighter, your spine straighter, your silence no longer empty, and the truth you'll carry long after this fades is simply, you were rare not because you stayed, but because you knew when to stop breaking yourself die as